Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another team building video. I'm gonna make another team for you guys. This time we'll have a sort of a fun team going on. And it is the double band in the sand. That's right, in UU. And I really love this team. It was very fun to use. Probably not incredibly effective, but it was certainly decently competitive. Had some surprise factors, had some tanks, have some good defensive mons, has hazards, has hazard removal as well. And you know, some pretty good stuff, I'd say. At least I thought it was very fun. In the comment section, you guys can help me to fix the team a bit more if you have more experience in the EU tier, or if you would end up trying it, just tell me how good you did with it. The team consists of sand, of course, and the first Pokemon and the sand setter of the team is going to be Tyranitar. We're going to use double band as this title suggests, so the first choice band Pokemon and also the sand user is going to be Tyranitar. Tyranitar just fills the role of a Spadef Pokemon too, with a massive HP and massive Spadef on base, and then the sand giving hit 50%. Special defensive capabilities augmented. And yeah, it's pretty much an always tanky mon even without the investment. We are packing the Crunch, we're packing the Stone Edge, of course, as stabs, very powerful. Not that many good stuff can switch into it, and if they do, they will be scared of doing it. And the first time, they don't. They usually just choose a switch, and they then realize it's choice banded, but you already have done the huge damage on that, so it's very cool. Then we do have Earthquake and Fire Punch for coverage. Earthquake is just good all around with Dark and Rock coverage, so as extra coverage, very good to have it. Plus there's some weak Pokemon in the tier that will be damaged by Earthquake a lot, although, you know, having Banded Crunch, you pretty much hit everything. But if you want to just go for the Beetle Grab play, Earthquake is very nice. And then Fire Punch is usually here for Scarbories, physical Scarbories or Spadef Scarbories. You can do a lot of damage to that. And if it's full physical defense, you can at least do some cheap damage to that. So if you have to do the prediction though, to expect the Scarbory, Stone Edge does a lot of damage, but it misses. So, you know, all around, good moveset to have around, I'd say. Just gotta be, you know, being careful with all the super defensive mons and play around them appropriately. Like with all choice Pokemon, so you gotta kind of make the prediction sometimes, and or click the middle ground option, which in this case is usually Earthquake. And yeah, if you're afraid of flying types, of course, switching Earthquake into Tyranitar, you know, switching a Pokemon to Earthquake into a Tyranitar is not usually the best thing to do, since they are just flying types that resist, well, are immune to Earthquake. And of course, switching a flying type to Tyranitar is not always the best of ideas, because, you know, it's a rock type, and if you go for Stone Edge, they're going to get popped. So that is it. The second mon is the second choice bandit, and is the Pokemon that makes use of the weather in this team. With Sandrush, Stoutland has double speed. Now, I really thought this could be a very good Pokemon, or a very fun Pokemon to use in this team, because I think it dropped down to PU this gen. It doesn't have Return or Frustration no more, so it is significantly worse than it used to be. But you know what? Now we have the chance to use Retaliate, and Choice Band and Retaliate out of a nature from Stoutland, plus the Stab. It's no joke. Like, I've actually done so much damage to some Pokemon right after losing one of the rest of the team, and it's very fun. Then we just have Facade. You know, of course, we're going to try to use this as a switch in to Status Life, all along with Celebi. We'll talk about him with another member of the team. But basically, having Facade stab Alderman as well, it's very very powerful. And with the choice band, you have power plus speed. Now, of course, for extra coverage, we have Crunch as well. There's a lot of bulky psychic types, so having Crunch is very nice. I already tried to use Ice Fang, it wasn't that great. And then Super Power for just neutral coverage as well. Yes, all around I love the coverage. The extra fighting coverage is pretty nice too. And having that plus, you know, double speed with the sand. You don't take sand damage as well. Because of the ability, I think. They did change it this year. Immunity to Sandstorm, see? I don't think it was this year. I think it was already implemented on the last gen, but whatever. Very powerful. With the choice band, not that many teams will be able to endure on the physical side. The two of these guys. They can probably endure one, but after that, you bring the other, and then you do, you know, you do a lot of damage. Stoutland, of course, also works as a late game sweeper, you know, with that speed and power. Mainly you have to use the defensive mons to weaken them, and then Stoutland comes in with the sand. You gotta play, of course, with that if you can. And then pretty much destroy with it. Then we do have a defensive Celebi. It's kind of a defense fast Celebi, some sort of support friend we've got going on. We've got T-Wave in this one. I'm not sure about T-Wave. It usually works pretty well because it supports Tyranitar and Stoutland very nicely. And even Toxtricity, we'll talk about him later as well, because it isn't that fast. So having T-Wave, I think it's nice. I used to have Giga Drain instead of Recover. I exchanged it because honestly, Grass is not that effective really in the tier. I really like having the extra recovery. This Celebi set can tank U-turns decently well from Scarf Flygons too, so it is very tanky. Has a lot of HP, has a lot of defense, base defense, and pretty nice speed, so in which you can outspeed, I think it was plus speed, Toxtricity too. You can kill it with Psychic, if it's not Scarf, of course. But yeah, utility Celebi, spreading the T-Waves around, tanking hits, doing some little bits of damage with Psychic is mainly the fighting switch in this team, because of course, you know, Stoutland and Tyranitar are weak to it, so having this guy around with Psychic is very important, more than T-Wave. We got this Def Seismitoad. We're gonna use Seismitoad again. It's so good. I always love to use him in every tier I can. It's always fun. We're not gonna use a physical defensive set this time. We're gonna use a Def set, and that's interesting. We got a water immunity with him, of course. We got Stealth Rocks, and electric immunity as well. So Rotom is not a pain in the ass no more, since we're weak to both. We are immune to both of his stabs. And we can just spread burns. That's what we do. Spread toxics as well. Have Earth Power, very nice coverage option as well, with the stab. We're gonna use the special set too. We're not gonna have Earthquake in this one. And then of course Death Rocks, as I said. It works as Def Bond with that massive HP, even though it's usually not as good as physical defense. With this team, it works very well, I would say. Plus, the things that are weak, you know, are super effective against Seismitoad. Usually, Celebi can take them on pretty well. So yeah, I think it's a pretty good combo. And to finish up the defensive core, we do have Scarbory. Scarbory is going to be setting up spikes or use defog depending on the situation or how the battle's going. We're going to use the body press for since it got this new move this generation with that massive defense. It does hurt quite a bit. Like, it's not a perfect Pokemon. We should have Rocky Helmet too to get some chip. So with the sand, the chip on the hazards, and the Rocky Helmet, we can bring the team very low on HP. So in the late game, Stoutland and Toxtricity, that I will explain in a second, can do very well. Now, of course, you'll see that having spikes and defog on the same set maybe is not the most effective thing, but I think it's nice because you can adapt it. You can also change the body press for another coverage move that you like most. I think body press is very nice though, but you can put Brave Bird, of course, classic. But then you kind of missed the sturdy point, which is a bit risky. Iron Head if your team has team problems with fairies, and to be honest, this team has also problems with fairies, but as you know, I will start explaining now the last member of the team, which is a Toxtricity. We have a Choice Scarf set this time, Scarf, not specs. We have a little bit of speed in this one, apart from Stoutland. We don't have to rely on the sand 100%. With this team, if we do have the Choice Scarf Toxtricity, I think it's very nice on this team because you do switch on fairies pretty great. You don't have to do it every time with just Scarbory, so you do have another option there, and it also gives momentum plus a surprise factor, because usually the usual set is just setup or specs. So it also counts as a bit of surprise factor. Same goes for Stoutland, is a bit of a surprise factor as well, since and also a bit Tyranitar. But you can expect Choice Band Tyranitar. Some people do not expect, especially lower on the ladders, do not expect Stoutland to have double speed. They just think it's a weird pick. But coming back to Toxtricity, the moveset is the quite average one we've seen. The obvious set is Overdrive, Sludge Bomb, Volt Switch, and Bomb Burst. With the Volt Switch, we with Celebi have a pair of Volt turning mons, which gives momentum to the team, which is very practical, because having two very powerful Choice Banded mons being able to be brought safely or having your momentum in your favor is very nice. If you can bring, for example, you can Volt Switch on an Assault Vest, Reuniclus, or similars, and then bring Tyranitar on them. It's just over for them, It's very strong. The momentum you get on the team, the damage you'll be able to do, is quite massive. So yeah, and then we do have Boomers for neutral coverage, a lot of damage with the Punk Rock ability. It just goes in. It just goes in and destroys. Having the Choice Scarf also helps Stoutland to clean up late game if possible. When most of the bonds are weakened or low on HP. Overdrive, of course, very powerful stab, and Solid Bomb as well. So you already know what Toxtricity does. But this time he's going to be using the Choice Scarf in a more fast role. So that's pretty much the team. I hope you guys will use it. And I hope we can have some, some conversation in the comments if possible. If you guys end up using it, or if you end up changing it, or using, creating your own team based of things based on this team, just make sure to let me know and just send. You can show me how you guys have been doing with it, or what did you guys change? What do you guys think about it? I don't know. I think it's just more of a fun team, but having double bands. It's almost one of the most fun things you can do in Showdown for me. Having very powerful Choice Banded Pokemon for me, it always has been fantastic. So let me know anything about it if you end up using it. And hopefully you guys have a good day. I'll talk about my health update very soon. Probably in the next videos or streams. And see you guys around, okay? See ya. Love you.